Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Blob. Let's see. So, in the last episode, we looked at the last resort a second time and saw that at least going back to this part resets it. So, it's questionable whether you can ever really get all the challenges done for a level, or if you even really need to. But I guess, since we spent most of the last episode doing Uptown and getting almost 100% of the area painted, that's still probably how you want to play. There is always the possibility we'll get to the end of the game, and then it will unlock a new mode or a new ability to return to an area. But inherently, the challenges center around either speedrunning or getting all the other challenges done. And so I think I'll just leisurely do all the other challenges and ignore the speedrunning aspects completely. Obviously there are probably speedrunners that can 100% paint all of the areas and do all the billboards and all the trees and all the challenges in the short amount of time they're given to reach that time goal, but that is almost certainly well beyond the range of my skill and well beyond the range of your target audience here for little kids. We're unlocking a new sound style. Really, it's not even really a song as much as it is a looping track with other tracks that come in based on the actions of what the player is doing, which is an interesting technology when you see games implement that, but it very often goes overlooked by many people, I suspect, and can't really be that obnoxious or obvious about what it's doing, otherwise it loses its subtle appeal. So, we're getting a news story with the main bad general in barcode text language. So I wonder if maybe the one eye style of all these block characters highlights that they aren't the same species as the Blob, who has two eyes, but also might highlight why they would want to see everything in black and white. To my knowledge, though, there really is no reason why somebody with just one eye would actually have trouble seeing in color just because they have one eye. Color is frequencies, it's not frequencies based on looking from two perspectives. Yep. And really, I've burned out at this point, and I imagine little kids would have been burned out even earlier as far as reading. So, well, I'm going to do a minimal amount of it, but I am going to really try to avoid a lot of it too. Plans working, Blob. Our raid on Uptown left Ink reeling. We must now move downtown to win the gradients over to our cause. We are effectively a rebel group here, causing an uprising after a takeover. The freeway leads all the way downtown. There is a checkpoint at the end. Inks know you are coming. They have devised terrible traps to cook you. Interesting. So now we're going with a fire element, which I wouldn't have really expected that. To fight them and carry the message through the gate to the gradient workers. There's always going to be like two sides to every revolution and every argument. And so this, I guess, is in part of the style that you would go for as far as moving, is that you would try to play quickly and hit as many targets as possible, although the targeting on this is not really great. It's not like I'm hitting the sides of walls while I'm doing this. Bumping into cars, though, is just as difficult. You can't target everything, so yeah. Really, if you were going for a speedrun, I don't know if targeting exclusively works in either. It seems like you have to do a lot of just wandering around hitting things. So this is basically a gas station. So what this speed runs. The only way you're on your way to the slums, Blob. Mini gradients are here. Press by Ink, race down the freeway and begin the fight. Right. You see these little flares, you have to kind of touch them, so it doesn't really feel so much like you actually are supposed to try and jump. You have to hit all these flares in a row. And pretty obviously that was designed to make what could have been a very boring area less boring. There definitely are game developers here that would kind of miss their target audience and try to have some like Soviet era visuals and theming going on around this, which would just fly over the heads of their target audience. Yeah, these water pools, by the way, can be painted, so that is almost certainly a section, one of the things I may have missed in the last level. Although, pretty obviously, there's not a lot extra that I could have done in this whole section. Blob, there's an ink checkpoint down there since the occupation access to downtown has been completely controlled. Looks like they've stepped up security even further since we hit uptown. So, no giving me a hint. The checkpoint is guarded by heavy ink jets. These guys can shoot you out of the air. Interesting. Not that staying in the air is particularly something I can do. I'll tell you how to take them out. Slamming a heavy Inky costs 10 paint points. The ink thrower attack can ink you from a distance. Wait until the Inky is reloading before you attack. Okay. So. Yeah. I would want to get up here where these rail cars are. You can see that there's a whole challenge up there. Let's see what this challenge is. Blob, we must make our struggle known. Try and paint 3 billboards on the freeway. You have to take the train to reach them, target the trains with left trigger, jump back on board the train after painting each billboard. Okay. So, hit this, and then left trigger, and hit that. Hit this, left trigger, and hit that. Hit this, left trigger, and hit that. And then I just get paused in the air. And the extra time ends up really is just completely antithetical to having a smooth experience to try and use these trains and I don't even know if I'd really call them trains, but whatever. Yeah, this is just incredibly slow, and very little you can do here. You can jump to the left and right and try and paint some things, and that's about it. Yeah, inherently, I feel like there's got to be either a movement mechanic that unlocks, or that I'm not aware of here, or that there is some kind of cheat that is going to let me fly around and paint, or shoot paint a lot more. Meanwhile, while you're doing all this, you're still I don't know if I even have enough shots. They really don't have that much of a threat, I guess, because they're really not doing anything. So move on to the next challenge, I guess. These tenements are derelict, paint them yellow, and we can make them live again. Okay. Yeah, you'd think maybe wall grinding on the sides might be a movement that you're supposed to really engage with. All this definitely feels very inspired by something like Jet Set Radio. Of course, the problem with that idea is that Jet Set Radio just has, I would assume, more movement tech and control. And, yeah. This really does not feel like a proper skating style game, although if this was a skating technology that only got so far before they kind of abandoned adding more movement and tricks, it might make some sense. Or if this was supposed to be baby's first skating game, that might make some sense. Slide on that. You have this downward momentum so you can't jump over it. I missed some walls that I potentially could have hit. really is only so much you can do with all this, is there? Just paint everything red. Pop up. The wall sliding is actually making it more difficult because I'm not quite reaching what I want to reach. And then that's a weird instance of there being a building in the corner I can't actually touch. It doesn't feel like the radians are coming in groups as often now. Let's see what this one. Ink propagandas is everywhere. We must spread our revolutionary message. Paint these 3 billboards. Okay. But yeah. It's very weird that you can speedrun a game like this just by having done everything already. Okay. Let's see what this challenge is. Press A to stop yourself sizzling. What was the challenge there? Alright, we're supposed to follow the markers. Did a good enough job to move forward. Yeah, I really just don't think it's worthwhile to run through the level and try to 100% paint everything. These are the slums. Blob gradients live here without color or hope. This is probably a game that would be very insulting to somebody who is colorblind, particularly kids who may not be diagnosed as being colorblind playing this game and either realizing that they can't recognize the difference but through color, or they're not seeing color the same way. A modern take on a game like this almost certainly would try to have a colorblind mode, even if it was somewhat subpar. Trying to see if there's any challenges back here that I maybe missed. What does this guy need? Yeah, not there yet. Reach higher heights. See what this challenge is. Way to the rooftops. Move quick. Right. So it almost seems like the move here is to use these on the ground maneuvers as a way of keeping you from jumping up in the air 100% of the time. Find the cops. Which, where? That's slightly different experience. Yeah, I would definitely have to say, compared to Epic Mickey 2, you're at least taking more of an active interaction with the paint. It's not just standing in one place and targeting a stream of paint for a long amount of time. That being said, I would like to be able to spit paint. Okay, we need orange, which would be yellow, which I am, and red. And then just see how much of this we can do on the ground. You still have some parts of these buildings, though, that look a little too gray. To the point where it might have made more sense if things were either solid black or even black and white striped, bar-coded. They didn't want to paint themselves, I guess, into too much of a corner of having all the black and white stuff visually look like it is solid one color, but getting stuck. Probably would have helped to make them stand out more. Struggling still to just hit these smaller things. Did I get them all? And see a it'd probably be nice if you could just lock in on something and then slam the ground at specific spots to just splash paint in a burst. So once we're going to take out some people, I don't see where they are though. There we go. So there was one I missed. I'm hitting that statue. Didn't do anything. Hitting these statues is not doing anything. if you just have like one fire though, like, nothing really stops you from jumping over that. Still too easy that double press A and miss something, or oh man, this really does just kill you. Love these buildings were once colorful apartments set along the pretty canal. Now they're mired in ink, paint them purple and yellow and raise them. Okay. So, we need a red. Okay. And then just to hit this one. That's some purple. Yeah, your mileage will vary drastically here just on how these controllers really play. What am I missing here? What am I supposed to be painting? See, we're just like making progress towards 2 or 3 things at the same time, so it's taking your attention away. It's a very ADHD experience, I would say. So weirdly, it seems like what you needed to do there was paint a certain number of things purple and a certain number of things yellow, regardless of whether it was already painted that color or not. Challenge race. It would probably not, almost certainly be nice here for there to be voice acting, since this is for little kids. Yeah, it's a really question whether you can actually accomplish these races if we're going to end up getting burnt. So can I recover from that fall? challenges are way too easy. Yet I'm still struggling to find the final flare. Inky brought more heavy Inkies. They blocking the gate. Surely no ink weapon can stop the blob. Minimal challenges, and it definitely feels like you can kind of ignore whether or not they're firing on you or not, and instead just attack with your full force as fast as possible. Wondering if maybe there would be a later point in the game where you would run into buildings that have more of a challenge in that they have anti-ink technology. Also, definitely feels like you should be able to jump higher. If this was originally running on some kind of skating engine, an attempt at making a skating game, it might explain the weirdness with the camera angles quite a bit. If all of a sudden you were doing a over-the-shoulder or first-person perspective game really zoomed in, then that might explain the camera, although you still would need to be able to move the camera around and look around. So we're going with red. Yeah. So I'm trying to get the taller buildings red, and then I'll come around and get the lower ground floor places. Yeah, this is getting more difficult now. Just in that they've split the buildings on top of each other, which is what they said. And I hope we don't see too much of that throughout the game, because that would be very repetitive. Got another transform engine. Out of color. Make some changes to the layout of all this anyways. Make it more multi-varied. Just like one panel even. Now, obviously we still missed a bunch of stuff. A lot of high spots here. But in this point, I could maybe make that jump. No, it's way too far away. And that seems too far away. We gotta get up here. Another race. Okay, this is not the next spot. I don't see a spot over here. Alright, we'll just start hitting buildings and try and figure it out on the way. Oh, I see, you're supposed to bounce against the walls. But there's no button I know of that actually lets you drop downward. Challenges available. Like I haven't transformed any of the areas over here yet, so finding these buildings, you definitely would want to do all that. Now we can bring some real change to downtown. I remember watching so many games in the field, paint 6 high-rise blocks around the square, paint each block a different color. Bring back the people. Okay. So. Got purple. Whoops. Okay. Yellow. We have 2 yellow. We have 3. Like, how are you even supposed to do this? Like, it's saying paint each one a different color. What's the trick there? See, this is just giving me a lot of opportunity to spend a lot of time on this. I guess that's how you reach longer areas as you slide against the wall. no idea what the trick is supposed to be here. See, I think that's just the end of the level. Let's ask this question. Can we start this quest? We'll come back to that current challenge later in favor of looking at these flares. Basically what needs to happen is if I'm sliding and I press A, I should probably drop downward instead of bouncing off the wall like it is something that you would actually try to go for. You just missed the blimp. A billboard they missed when doing the Z jumps, I suspect. Are we supposed to slide down to that spot for the Z jump? No, you can't slide down the side of the wall. That switch does. See if this Z jump leads somewhere. Interesting. Supposed to see that takes you to this billboard, then it takes you to this Z jump. And there's the billboard. No fall damage in the game, I appreciate that. We're continuing to make progress. Although, it probably shouldn't bother to show you as much as it probably should just tell you you've made progress towards a certain thing and then allow you to then see it on a top-down map, which would be way more helpful. Okay, yellow paint. Out of yellow paint. So we'll roll around. Yeah, you basically can't do anything until you destroyed this police station. Just not picking up enough paint. Yeah, even if the game just lets you increase the amount of paint you collected from these enemies through some kind of RPG mechanic, level up mechanic, that'd be great. What was the next part of that challenge, though? I think it's probably just to destroy this. You need more paint, and we need it to be yellow. It's a lot of button pressing back to back. A lot of button pressing. Let's see what this challenge is. Challenge is already complete, thanks. Interesting. I think you may increasingly run into scenarios like that where you're given a challenge and you've already done it, and then the game's not going to tell you really what to do. Let's try this one again. Okay. Paint all 6 high rises around the square. Paint each block a different color. Bring the people back. Okay. So, there are 2 yellow blocks. Let's make this block green. All the way around. There's too many greens already. Okay. See that as now potentially just adding another green block. Something needs to be blue as far as the high rise, because that one's not even being listed as. I'm not seeing one that's listed as blue. There are exactly 6 colors, 3 primaries and 3 secondaries. In that, one of the purples needs to be converted, one of the blues needs to be converted, and one of the browns needs, we need a brown. Okay, let's start with brown. Yeah, I don't know where the split here is. Paint each block a different color. So we have 2 yellows. We don't want to do anything with yellow. We have 3 reds and 1 orange. We don't have anything brown. So let's just make an assumption here that all this on this one side is supposed to be brown. This looks as brown can be. Yeah. Everything on this whole face of this looks brown. I don't know how you paint a block any browner other than to just start the yeah, I just don't get it. I should have things labeled as being blue, I should have things labeled as being brown. Is it possible I'm supposed to make every single building different? I really don't get it. My best guess is that maybe I'm supposed to paint the high-rise towers one color and then run around the edge and change the colors up on everything around the high-rise buildings like that. Just kind of can't care either after failing a couple times. I mean, that is just that. And apparently at some point we transformed this from being sludge in the water to clean water, which that's nice. There's a lot of red going on. I would just say, don't bother checking like the progress here. Just move further. I have like 3 minutes left. Wow, I may literally run out of time. Ooh, and that would create a weird situation, certainly, because if I run out of time, then all this effort may be for naught, and you may just have to start the whole level a second time. So if you get stuck on a challenge, you really do have to abandon it, which means, again, the only way you really accomplish all the goals in the challenge here would to be a speedrunner who knows exactly what needs to be done already and knows exactly how to do it in the most efficient way possible. And so many games build themselves up for potential speedrunners, and almost never is it a case that games that are targeting speedrunners are actually appreciated by speedrunners at high levels. You have to have a game that is just generally fun and interesting for people to want to play it the first time. Sure, for a second, exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, but I bet attacking enemies is not a bad plan. Liberate the gradients, what does that mean? Uh-oh. Yeah, it doesn't help either. I need a water source. I don't see a water source. There's one way over there. I have very little time here. Is that all the gradients? Liberated? I don't think I can actually reach up that to that higher spot. So I just fell from a silver medal to a bronze medal on something. Like, I just have no more time. Yeah, and this is a potential major problem for what you thought was a kid's game, is that now all of a sudden there's a real revelation here that you have to move fairly fast in the third level of what I suspect is 10 levels. I'm just gonna run past all these guys and see what I can actually accomplish in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds. There's a lot of sections here that without Z jumping, there's no way you're gonna reach all of that. Green, purple, it says. I don't have enough paint points to take on those guys. Like, I need to figure out just where the goal is and exit this level in the next few seconds. little challenges aside, 50 purple paint. Wow. That's a lot, considering I have none. Red. It does just kind of feel like the entirety of this whole area is either blocked off by those sections and I need to go that way, or I've completely lost the direction I'm supposed to go. 45 purple paint. That would be 50. Then I need a blue again. And this is a long amount of A button pressing. Literally, it's just forcing me to press it 50 times. Okay. That makes this a less deadly area. But I've got about 3 minutes. So it's certainly no surprise as to why I couldn't figure out where to go. There's just a whole other section. This really is getting more onto the idea that this was originally supposed to be a skate game. Not skate, the name, series of skate per se, but a skating game. Really just don't have time to do any challenges or anything, so for the most part I'm going to figure out what I need to do to leave. Right, that gives me about 2 minutes. Let's leave a level as a Inky character. We missed a lot of content there. And I don't know what really happened that I took so long, other than I just got stuck on a challenge. Which, yeah, this might be the crossing point here, where the game has all of a sudden gotten fairly difficult. That feels like a pretty big difficulty spike. I missed lots and lots of places, lots and lots of trees, lots and lots of styles. Took forever. The game says it was 48 minutes in that level, but that's just not the case. I got only one achievement for beating the level, so I'm wondering if maybe if you get the golden score at the, as far as, I don't know what gets you the higher score though. Is it that you paint more things, or is it that you take less time? Regardless, it still feels like that section was just way bigger and took longer. So yeah, my real concern here would be that there's going to be some significant challenges. This Chroma Dam might just be a boss fight. And we kind of know that there's only 10 levels, so that would be level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I don't really see 10 complete sections here, but yeah, they can break things up quite a bit. It definitely would be nice if this was a more modern game to have the entirety of the city just be one big open world that you could paint forever. We do now have free paint for downtown, so on that, I guess I could run around and try and learn everything. But if I get into a free paint, let's just think about that for a second. Doesn't seem like there's any progress that's unlocked on that. Yeah, it seems to me like spending a lot of time trying to get to the end of this highway will suck up a lot of your progress. Which arguably this really should just be the case where free paint should be unlocked by default, and then the challenge mode should be the thing you're encouraged to do a second time. Although in free paint, you don't have any enemies to deal with, so your only enemy really would be just time. And you'd definitely have to play the game multiple times to like memorize the location of everything. Even like that, I guess. There's limited things you can do here. So yeah, if I needed to figure out that challenge, for instance, I really wouldn't be able to figure out the challenge in this mode. That is just an incredible waste of time, mashing A 50 times over. Almost certainly a speedrunner would have some kind of button they would press that would just have the A button automatically press for a certain number of times. Like a number 1 on the keypad might be 10 times, number 2 on the keypad might be 20, so on and so on. Still have a little bit of sludge. But this was really the point where we failed. Like, we needed to get to this in a reasonable amount of time. It's important to also point out that there are no difficulty options in this game, so if you are struggling on the 3rd level, which surprisingly I am, you're not really going to get any help. I'm going to be a little shy. So I'm going to have to hit this. I guess there's a good point to mention here that if you are saving up your ink points, your color, doing such a significant change would make you think that it would be worthwhile to jump back and look at all that, but the game really isn't focusing on that happening. Obviously, if you wanted to get all the trees painted in, you would have to spend a lot extra time. There. And that brings you into this whole other section. Which we couldn't spend any time looking around on this. I don't want a free paint mode as much as I'd like an infinite paint mode. And so I'm hoping, I guess that's my big hope here, is that there will potentially be a whole other mode that unlocks after beating the game. Either something that eliminates the time requirement, which even if you did eliminate the time requirement, that would still probably not eliminate the challenge of speedrunning the level, which, yeah, I have no idea how you'd actually speedrun this level. This whole section is completely disconnected from the rest of the map, that you'd have a really hard time to get back to other sections of the map if you miss something. And it's weird that there is no like boss fight here. It does make me feel like maybe there's something going on with that, and that the next level will be a boss fight. I kind of expect there to be at least one big boss fight. You have this giant building here. Let's see. 50 blue. Destroy this building. I just totally missed that. It might be interesting, I suppose, if you ran into a building that yellow. If you ran into a building like this at the very end of a level, and it then unlocked some new opportunity for you, something that made the rest of the level really, really easy, maybe that would work. Come on. But yeah, the building would basically have to just spray paint all over the place. It is really just a skateboard game, isn't it? Like, they've given up the pretense. I kind of saw it coming, but yeah, the wall riding aspect of this game and the staying on the ground aspect. So that really does show that if I was to think about it, you'd probably make a more mature skating game somewhat similar to this, in that you were smashing things with or riding a skateboard. But THQ, always targeting kids, really, made it way too kid-friendly. In the visuals, at least. Not really that kid-friendly in the controls. And it's not like there's anything really amazing that you're ever going to find in these levels. It seems all pretty laid bare already, that you're going to find square buildings and some Z-pads, and that's about it. Unless it's a case, and maybe this is going to happen, but I doubt it. It might be a case that we unlock more assistive movement technologies like Z-jumps, and then going back to previous levels may let you move quicker . It's kind of in my way. I'm not really doing anything right now, so I'm just looking around and trying to have the experience that I feel like I was robbed of by having a timer. Now, if I was to go back to the first area, though, like everything is reset once again in the free paint mode. So it's not even a case where it saves what you're doing. Which I think that may just really highlight how the best way to play this game may not be story mode per se. It may be to engage with it with multiple players, but even there, I don't think you can do all the challenges. The game would be easier by far if it was a case of just doing having 2 or 3 other people paint things at the same time and work together. Looking at the amount of achievements though, come to think of it, and looking that we have these extra sections which might be more difficult challenges, I bet you get an achievement for doing each one of these on top of getting an achievement for doing that, which would give you, let's see, we have about 19 more achievements left. I have, according to Steam, I'm like 2 out of 23, which means I didn't get one for doing this because it took me so long. So you get an achievement for getting gold on each of these levels, and that means there's 21 more achievements. 2, 4, 6, plus another 3 would be 9. Double that would be 18, and then one more level with a couple achievements would be 20. There may not actually be 10 levels, come to think of it, and there may be closer to 9 or 8 levels. Although the big problem right now, certainly, is am I going to start running out of time like crazy? Am I even going to make it to the end or the credits? And that really shouldn't be a concern for a kids game. Anyways, then that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's a link in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.